Hello, YouTube! This is Chrisiosity, and I'm coming to you as a guest of the Drink Tank. To anyone not familiar with my channel, hello there! Nice to meet you. And since today is Mother's Day in the US, allow me to wish all the mothers out there an especially happy day wherever you are. This week's topic was strong female roles in movies, and I decided to talk a little bit about The Wizard of Oz. Now, as some of you may know, this fairy tale was written by a male feminist and supporter of women's suffrage, Lyman Frank Baum. He was married to the daughter of the prominent first-wave suffragette, Matilda Joslyn Gage, and he was clearly influenced by her, especially her interest in witches and the history of witch burnings throughout Europe and in colonial America. Gage was a very vocal critic of the male-dominated Christian church and considered it a means of subjugating women. Though a very popular children's book with multiple sequels, The Wizard of Oz was often criticized and sometimes banned for its depiction of the sexes, positive views of some witches, and populist or even, some said, communist or anarchist tendencies. The second Oz book, for instance, involved an uprising of women who used their knitting needles as weapons and then made their husbands do the household chores. Baum himself always firmly stated it was a children's fairy tale and nothing else. Looking at the movie, it's hard to see what the fuss could be about. The Dorothy portrayed in the film suffers a bit from being changed from a young child to a nearly grown one, as she seems rather silly for a teenager. Still, Dorothy is a kind and protective character who ends up saving or helping the very flawed male characters she meets on her journey. She is courageous enough to smack a lion on the nose for chasing her dog and to venture into a witch's lair at the behest of the Wizard of Oz. It is in the character of the wizard and that of the witches that much of the subtle feminist undertones may be teased out. Some witches are good and some are bad, we are told, but all of them are female and powerful. On the other hand, the wizard himself does not live up to his reputation of being the most powerful of all. He does not stand up to the Witch of the West, who openly defies him, instead sending a child and her odd companions on a de facto assassination attempt. When Dorothy returns, the wizard spurns her even though she has done everything he asked, and she boldly demands he keep his word, which he responds to with a lot of angry, abusive shouting. It is then that Dorothy finally looks behind the curtain and sees his charade for what it is. It is made obvious that his only real power is in making people believe he is all-knowing and all-powerful. The movie ends with Glinda showing up in one of those "the power was within you the whole time" kind of endings that are never particularly satisfying. But what can you do? Certainly, this story is not by any means perfect. It is impossible to watch the movie now without comparing it to Wicked, the book series by Gregory Maguire that has inspired the famed theatrical adaptation. But to discuss those books in depth is beyond the scope of this brief review, except to say that though the books and play show us these characters in a different light, they are able to do so in part because the broad strokes of these characters and themes were always there, hidden under the simplistic and childish story, like a reverse analog of the wizard himself, where real power is hidden under an innocuous appearance. Thank you, and goodbye to you all. Bye!